Good morning. This is Mary Kay from Country Music Matters, and we are introducing Zach Stone. Welcome, Zach.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, you're a Texas native.
I am born and raised.
Are you now living here in Nashville?
I do, yes, ma'am. This is my new home.
How long have you been here?
Wow. I went to Belmont University, so I did that for 4 years, graduated, proud Bruin, and now I've lived here for 3 years since then, I guess. That was 2015, so yeah, I guess 7 years. So it's been a while.
So while you were at Belmont, you got a Best of the Best award?
Yes, ma'am.
What was that involved?
That was super cool. So every year they have this big competition where different genres of artists, whether it's Christian, pop, rock, or country, compete, and then we do a big showcase. And so, thousands of kids, apply, and I applied, and I got selected for live auditions, and so 8 of us went in there and did the audition, and they broke that down to 4 of us, and so the 4 of us got to play an arena show in our basketball arena. And we played, that was the country showcase, and they had a panel of judges from the industry, and they chose me, and so I won country showcase, and that was one of my proudest moments at Belmont.
That's like your first big country award.
Yeah, so then because we won that, we got to be in the Best of the Best showcase, which was with Ricky Skaggs and Peter Frampton. It was just incredible. And so it was Ricky Skaggs, Peter Frampton, me, one of my other best friends had won the pop showcase, and the winners of the other 2 showcases. So
Now,
that was awesome.
Coming from Texas, did you, even though you were young, did you play anywhere in Texas?
I did.
In
I
any
started playing shows
competitions or
when I was
anything?
12. I started playing the Opry circuits, and it's just something that I remember watching. My uncle was big into music, and so he came and lived with us for about a year, and he played shows. And I remember watching him on stage and just thinking, that looks like a lot of fun. And so when I kind of got old enough and a little more into it, my mom was like, well, do you want to go do that? And I said, sure, I'm 12. Like, when you're 12, you just go anywhere your mom wants you to go. So she was like, well, let's go do that. And I did it. And I was like, Mom, I love that. Can we do it again? And so we did it again, and went again, and again, and again. So that just blew up into this giant love for performing and doing shows, and here we are.
Did you think the fun would turn into such hard work at times?
I never did. I totally underestimated how difficult this industry can be and how much work there is involved, because it seems so easy. It seems like, back in the day when you buy a ticket, you walk in, they walk on stage, they sing their songs, and they go, thank you, and they leave, and you're like, well, that's the greatest job ever. And it definitely is the greatest job ever, but it's a job. It's exactly that. My friends think it's funny when I tell them that I work 80-hour weeks, and I'm like, dude, that was an off week.
Well, the saying goes, if you have a job you like, you never really work a day in your life. So
absolutely.
It's kind of working,
yeah,
but yet it's not.
Well, I'm working right now.
See, there
I'm
you
working
go.
right now, but this is a blast. I'm hanging out with all you guys.
Yeah,
so
it is. It's
fun.
but a lot of people don't realize what goes on behind what
Yeah.
you do before you even get on the stage.
My dad always said, you got to do 90% of the job you hate to do the 10% of the job you love. And so it's, you do a lot of work just to walk in and sit in front of the camera and do this. So.
Now, you've latched on to some big names as producers for your for your music. Tell us about how those came about.
Man, Nashville is such a cool city because everybody knows everybody and we're all friends, and it's all just a big community of making music and trying to be, do something cool together. And so a good friend of mine played with Neil McCoy, and he introduced me to this guy, Lester, who was his drummer at the time. Lester and I became great friends, and he ended up going on to play for Kelly Clarkson. And while he was playing with Kelly, he and I hooked up to produce my first album, or my first EP rather, Ashes. And we just, we got along so well back when he was with Neil that even though he moved on, we just still loved working together and hanging out and doing stuff. So he and I stay in touch and whatnot. And now we've got the stuff I'm working on right now is with another drummer, Matt Billingsley, and he's working with Taylor Swift. So, she's doing well these days. But it was the same, just, a friend of a friend. And a good friend of mine always says you're one relationship away from your next opportunity. So, that's what Nashville's about. I just love making friends and trying to do cool stuff with them.
Now, with anyone that you've opened up for or been on stage with, what do you take from that? What do you learn from these people?
Oh, so much. I mean, I remember seeing Aaron Tippin live, and I opened for him and Daryl Worley, and Aaron just walked out and he just owned that stage. Everybody in that audience was his fan, whether they were there for him or not. He was their entertainer and their host for the evening, and he just got up there and he had way too much fun, and the more fun that he had, the more fun they had. And that was something Neil McCoy always told me was, you gotta, if you have a good time, your audience will have a good time. So go up there with a smile on your face and enjoy it, because the more fun you have, the more fun they'll have.
And you may not have a fan when, you're coming on stage, these people don't know you, but when you're done, even if you get 10 fans out of the 50, you've made 10 fans.
That's right. That's right. You are playing for the one person in the room that is going to love you for the rest of their life. Because you never know when one of your songs is going to hit someone.
Now, you played sports.
I did. Oh, yeah.
But you declined a lot of the in college, and you declined the stuff because you wanted to pursue what you do. Was that probably a no-brainer, huh?
That's one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make in my life. I was doing showcases for, professional teams, and specifically for baseball. Baseball was my sport. I wasn't really good in any other sports. I played basketball, I played football, I ran, but, just baseball was my thing. That was my place. And, it was hard because it was, you feel special when someone, from the Royals comes up to you and says that you're good at what you do. But yeah, if I had gone to a school like TCU or a school like Long Beach State, as great as the baseball program would have been, it would have meant officially the end of my music career. And so I just wasn't ready to see that die yet. And so Belmont here had a Division I team, and I thought, I'll go there and I can still play competitive baseball and do music. And I just fell in love with Nashville. I fell in love with this place and this city, and the more my music career started to take off, and the more that took off, they're very different avenues. And at one point, I was going to have to choose, and so, I guess I chose right.
Yeah, here you are. What steps did you take? I know you probably hold on to a bunch of songs, you sing your song, right? You have them locked, but what steps do you gear towards, what do I put in my new album? Four-letter word. I mean, what do you...
Yeah.
How do you determine what goes where? And when?
Either guessing or flipping coins. Those are my two main methods. I put a lot of work into... I'm a perfectionist, and I'm very fastidious, as some would say, and so everything that I do just has to be in the right place for me. And it's kind of I do it the way I think it should go and the way I think it should look, and then I just send it out to y'all and say, here it is. I hope you like it. But it's definitely a long process, because you write so many songs and you have so many good ones, and they're all your baby in different ways, and you just kind of got to think which one feels right to me right now. Which one am I most excited about? Which one can I just not wait to play on stage? Because when it all comes down to the live show. And when I come out and play a show for y'all, I don't want to stand up there and go, man, I'm done with this song. I want to get up there and go, guys, I got a new song, and you're gonna love it. This is Four-Letter Word, and get to play it for y'all. And that's how I feel with Four-Letter Word. And, I try to do that with every single and every song that I put out. Is something that I'm just fired up about and can't wait to release.
Because your fans, all fans, are the biggest critics.
Oh, they are. Absolutely.
They're going to either say, oh, no, or hell, yes.
Yep. They'll love it or hate it.
Yeah, and that's what you have to gear towards.
Absolutely.
You're not only doing it for what you love to do, but you're doing it for them.
Yeah.
To let them hear the love of what you do. Definitely.
Absolutely.
So do you get any downtime? Do you make sure you take time to...
No. I do get downtime. Again, it goes back to what you were saying earlier, though. It's... If you're always, when you're self-employed like this, and when you're doing the music thing, you're always working, but you're never working, but you're always working. You're always working, but you're never working. And so there's days where I wake up in the morning and I can look at my calendar and go, I have nothing to do today. And 10 minutes later, I get a phone call, and all of a sudden I have too much to do today. it's a back and forth. And there's days where I have everything to do today, and I get that phone call, and oh, we got to reschedule this and something happened. She's coming next week, and we're going to push that back to tomorrow. And all of a sudden, I have nothing to do. So I pick up my guitar, but there's always. I was talking with a musician about this the other day. When you play an instrument, when you sing, you're never done. When I did homework in school, I could sit down with a math assignment and fill out a worksheet, and I was done. But when I'm at home playing my guitar, I can play for 3 hours and not be done. I'm still working, I'm still trying, I'm still getting better, I'm still pushing on to the next level, and even Keith Urban practices. So
yeah. Now you are involved with the hand camp.
Yes, ma'am.
With the assistance of the Texas Scottish Rite Hospital for Children, and you established the hand camp. Give us some history on that.
Well, when I was a kid, I was born with a limb difference called brachydactyly, and it was just an underdevelopment of my left hand and arm. And my parents were really involved in this support group through Scottish Rite Hospital. And so my parents and the other parents of kids that were in this support group, they wanted to start something that would really make a difference and hopefully grow that support group, because it was hard to get people to just come to meetings. So we wanted to do something that was special for the kids. So I got to give all the credit to the awesome people at Texas Scottish Rite and my parents and the parents that were involved back then, because they put together this camp where it's just like summer camp for kids, who have the opportunity to go out there and see that they're just like, there's other people like them, and they're not the only ones, and they're not alone, and it's just a wonderful experience to get to go back now as a counselor and a former camper, to get to go and watch these kids grow up, and just the way that camp changes their lives is so cool, and it's a blessing to be a part of that.
It's great always to give back, and kids will hopefully take that core that you guys have built for them and take it with them through their life, because it can be so cruel out there.
Yeah.
And these kids have to know you who you are inside. What's going on outside? It's not you who you are, and that makes a difference to these kids. And I applaud anybody who does that with the kids.
Absolutely, it's great to give back.
You got a busy CMA Fest been going on?
Very busy CMA Fest. I think we've played 11 or 12 shows in the last 3 days, so we've been all over the place.
Now, is this your first time as an artist doing this?
No, ma'am. No, I've done CMA Fest for 3 or 4 years now, but this is my first time doing the media interviews. We were talking about that earlier. We did CRS and stuff like that. Done that a few times, but it's my first time out here at Fanfare. So thanks for having me.
Well, we enjoyed it. Now, social media, is the thing.
Absolutely.
So where can everybody find you at?
Zach Stone Country, ZACH Stone Country. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music, all over the place. Come find me.
And what's going on the rest of the year?
A lot of shows. We're on the road a lot, and maybe some new music. We'll see what happens.
Did you get back to Texas much to play?
I do. Every now and then, get to go home and see Mom and Dad and some old friends. Yeah, every now and then. I don't think we have anything on Texas right now. I know we're going to Florida and Pennsylvania. But, just always trying to look at the next week ahead,
There you go. Well, Zach, we've really appreciated your time. It's great to meet you. We'll keep up on what you're doing and enjoy the rest of your CMA Fest.
Thanks, Mary Kay.
You're welcome.
Love you guys.